Back on the Rob Dibble Show. Time now to talk to the Iron Man for the Hartford Athletic. They have a big match coming up this Saturday at 7 p.m., and it's a big charity match, and he is defender with the Hartford Athletic. Tom Brewitt joins us now on the Bobby V Sports Tech Hotline. Let's just start with where you were raised in Liverpool, England. Coming out of the womb, pretty much soccer is embedded in your DNA. Tell us what it was like to grow up in Liverpool.
Yeah, like you say, it's part of your DNA. It's almost like a religion back home. I had an older brother who was football mad, so the minute I could walk, I had a ball at my feet, and I was trying to compete with my older brother. So I was on the red side of the city, luckily, and I got to watch a lot of success, so it was brilliant.
What is it like being in the youth system there? Like, how competitive is it? How do you get discovered to be a part of a U17 team or a U16 team in Liverpool? Like, tell us all the ins and outs about that lifestyle as a teenager.
Yeah, so it's even earlier than that. So my first experience with the Liverpool Academy was as a 8-year-old with the under-9s, and I then signed as a 10-year-old for the under-11 side, and from there stayed in the system all the way until I was 20. So it was an amazing experience for me to be a part of such an unbelievable club, my hometown club, that I grew up supporting and loving. So you sort of play for your Saturday league team growing up. Like I say, as soon as you can walk, you're trying to kick a ball. So, and then when you're on the best teams in the city, scouts come to watch and they invite you to go on trial at Liverpool or Everton, whoever it may be, and hopefully from there you can earn yourself a contract even at the age of 8, 9 or 10.
Wow. Talking to Tom Brewitt from the Hartford Athletic. He's defender. What does that entail? Contract is not money, but is it like to play with a certain academy or a certain team?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's almost an exclusivity contract that you can't go and play elsewhere. Of course, you don't sign for money until you're 16 back home when you first sign your scholarship and you leave school. But you're exclusively playing for Liverpool or whatever club you're representing, and that's the only team that you represent and train for, even at that young age.
That is fascinating. Totally different than what we know. Totally different than what we've experienced around here in the States. Hartford Athletic at home Saturday, one of 2 final matches at home at Trinity Health Stadium, taking on my least favorite soccer team of all time, those stinky people from Charleston, the Charleston Battery, coming up to Hartford. Everybody bring your own nose plugs along with your own drum. I'm telling you, Kurt, I don't like this team whatsoever. Now, what happened last week against Loudon, Mr. Brewitt? You're known for not giving up any goals back there. They gave 3 up. We got 3 goals against us. Loudon won that game 3-0. What happened?
Yeah, I think it was obviously a disappointing result. I don't think the performance was probably reflected in the result. I think it was probably a little bit harsh, but that said, I think certainly since the new managers come in, we've built a base on being compact and being solid at the back. So it was obviously disappointing to concede 3, and hopefully we can put it right in our last 3 games.
And how has Tab been? How do you like him as the new head of the team?
He's been brilliant. Since the first day he's come in, he's been really clear in exactly what he wants, and it makes life as a player a lot easier when you have absolute clarity on what the coach wants from you. So it's been great for me stepping into the holding midfield role and sort of testing myself in there, and he's been, like I say, the clarity when we're attacking and going forward, but even more so on defence. I think it starts at the front and goes all the way to the back, and that's why pre the Loudon game we've been so solid in defence since he's come in.
You play all the time. You're probably going to win the Iron Man Award for this team, maybe even for the league because of how many minutes you log from game to game. For you, when you're out, like, is it a thing that bugs you, or can you sit out and contribute as someone that's on the sideline and actually take in notes from a different perspective of the game? Or are you one of those guys that you just can't stand not being in the action?
Probably a bit of both. So, of course, I've missed 1 game this season due to family issues back home. The passing of a loved one, which was I had to return home for a week, which meant I missed the game, and I was sort of gritting my teeth, being on the other side of the pond to watching the game. But no, I like to, if I am out or if I get subbed out towards the end of the game, if I'm playing in midfield, I try and help from the bench and still be a leader from the bench. So I can see it from both sides, but absolutely, if I can be on the pitch, that's where I want to be.
Talking to Tom Brewitt, defender for the Hartford Athletic. It's the 4th annual Match for a Cause coming up this Saturday at 7 o'clock against the Charleston Battery. What does it mean to you guys? I mean, you're from all over the world, all across the country, and then you come together and you're supporting the community. What do these charity games mean for you guys?
Yeah, I think from wherever you come from across the world, you always want to give back to the club that you're representing at the time. And I know that this cause is a really good one, and like you say, I think it's the 4th one. So anything we can do as players for the community to try and give back to the fans and give back to the local people here, we absolutely get on board with. So I'm really looking forward to the game, and I think it's a really good cause.
Tom Brewitt, you'll also see him in midfield along with our friends Ubadi and Tulu that we've just talked to, the defenders that hang out in the backside with you guys a lot. But have you guys, now that you've been around for a few years, I know for you this is the 2nd year as a Hartford Athletic, and you guys have been a part of this community now. I think we were in season 4, season 3, whatever it is. I feel like we know your guys' names a lot more, and some of the same characters are on the roster. Do you feel like this team, especially now here in 2022, over from last year when you've experienced it, has really come together and gelled in such a way that was a lot different maybe a year ago?
Yeah, I think even in the time I've been here since Harry Watling brought me in, I think I've seen it grow as a club and as a dressing room. I think there's been, over the years, a lot of moving pieces, and that's always going to be the case when a club is so new. But certainly over the past few months, I've seen a different side to Hartford Athletic. Even with Tab coming in, he's going to take it to another level as well. So I think it's getting better even by the month, let alone year on year. So I think it's a bright future.
What kind of injuries? You talk about being an Ironman, and obviously soccer is such a physical, demanding sport. What kind of injuries have you had to play through while you're going through playing so many minutes for Hartford Athletic?
Yeah, I think I've been quite lucky that I've only really had minor ones in my career. I tried to look after my body as best as possible to allow me to play so many minutes. But I think at this stage of the season, I don't think there's many players that have played as many minutes that aren't carrying some sort of knock here or there week on week. I think it's natural to be maybe tightening your hamstring one week, you're back at the next week, but you get through it, you grit your teeth, and as soon as the adrenaline kicks in and training all games, you forget all about it. So that goes out the window, and the only focus is the ball.
Tom Brewitt from Liverpool. I'm sorry to ask you this, sir, but when you say the words Liverpool, from us dumb Americans, especially at a certain age, the first thing that comes to our minds is the Beatles. How much are the Beatles a part of Liverpool to this day? Like, what is the Beatles' love in their hometown?
Oh, it's still huge. Everywhere I go, especially stateside, whenever I tell people I'm from Liverpool, the first thing they'll say is the Beatles. And I think as a city, we absolutely love them. We love what they brought to the city in terms of the passion and also the light that it shines on Liverpool. As a musical city, as a city full of culture and good people. So it's great that they're still so well known worldwide.
How about when you're over here? What kind of foods and things like that do you like around the Hartford area?
To be honest, I like the Italian influence. My granddad's Italian, so the Italian influence on this side of the country is brilliant. So the pizzas and the pastas are perfect.
What about the beer, sir? Because from you and where you're from, I feel like you have some knowledge of brew dogs in our area. And we just had a brew fest over there last Saturday while you guys were gone. What about our beer, United States beer, not just this area? How do you like our beer?
I'm going to really disappoint you here, but I'm not a beer drinker. I've never drank beer, and I don't, to be honest, I wouldn't even like the taste if I tried it at this age. So I'm not a beer drinker, so I'm sorry to disappoint.
How did you get the name Brewitt?
Wow.
I know. It's a left answer the name.
That's great.
Well, hey, Tom, good luck on Saturday in the Match for a Cause, the 4th annual Match for a Cause. It's there's only 2 more chances for you to see the Hartford Athletic and their matches at the Trinity Health Stadium, and we appreciate your time, Tom.
No problem. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.